The first T20I between India and Ireland at the village in Dublin had some very interesting questions for a few players. How did they step up to the platter and perform? The prime question was on Jasprit Bumrah. After conceding a 4 of the first ball, there was a bit of a groan that 11 months out of action, maybe he will not be the same. But in the second ball, he bowled a brilliant delivery to Andrew Balbirnie and dismissed him for 4. And then throughout the spell, that first over, apart from the first ball, the remaining 5 balls that he bowled was simply brilliant. Then after that, he showed his entire repertoire. He bowled the slow balls, he bowled the bouncer, he hit the hard length, he nailed a couple of Yorkers. He didn't use that much of the Yorker towards the death overs. He probably used a lot of the slow variations, which gives you an indication that maybe Jasprit Bumrah will take his time to nail the Yorkers before he can assure that he is in full rhythm. Now, Jasprit Bumrah 4 overs 2 for 24. Maybe he ticked 8 out of the 10 boxes that were there. One, maybe he still has to get back into full rhythm. Second, his captaincy maybe might have been a bit lax towards the fag end because Ireland managed to reach 140. And that is the reason why India just managed to get out of jail with a 2-run win, and that too because rain had played spoilsport towards the fag end as we had predicted. Rain was going to be a factor in the first T20I. It did happen, but luckily after the match had ended. Now, in the post-match press conference, Ravi Bishnoi came. Now, Bishnoi offered 2 very interesting insights on Jasprit Bumrah and Sanju Samson. He may have not said it, but indirectly he called Sanju Samson a match winner in that first T20I. Why? First, on Jasprit Bumrah. Ravi Bishnoi was saying that he had observed Jasprit Bumrah at close quarters in the nets. The intensity that he was bowling, even the captain himself admitted that yes, the intensity I had prepared for a World Cup simulation, not for a T20I, because had he just prepared for T20I and increased his workload, fatigue would have set in. And that is the reason why he was bowling a lot of overs. He had not held back in training. So, Ravi Bishnoi was saying the type of world-class bowler Bumrah is, it was not surprising. After the first ball went for a boundary, the 5 balls that he bowled in the first over was a sight. I enjoyed it. The broadcasters were also showing repeated replays of Bumrah's run-up, the way how he was delivering, the lengths that he hit on a frequent basis, because everybody wants to know how Jasprit Bumrah is shaping up, because he will be that X factor when India go for the Asia Cup and for the World Cup. Remember, Bumrah is the only bowler who slots back in automatically despite having not much of game time. So, 325 days later, Bumrah is back for India. 2 wickets in the first over. 3 overs, you may say that he conceded about 20 runs. Okay, he conceded a 6. He was he was inconsistent with his line and lengths towards the fag end, but he's simply coming back after 11 months. That itself is a great sight. But on Sanju Samson, now that is a very interesting aspect that Sanju Samson gave in that first T20. I remember when he came out to bat, and when he was there at the outfield, the amount of support and cheer that Sanju Samson was getting was next level at Dublin. So, Bishnoi at this point was saying on Sanju Samson, it was a lucky run. Now remember, what is the context of this lucky run? He was coming after Craig Young had gotten 2 wickets, one of Yashasvi Jaiswal and the other of Tilak Verma, both left-handers. Sanju Samson was facing the hat-trick. He just steered the ball to third man and got 1 run. But the rain was coming down quite heavily. Had Sanju Samson lost his wicket, India would probably have lost the match. So when he got that 1 run and after that the match was abandoned, Ravi Bishnoi said that it was a very lucky run. Had Sanju not scored that run, the result would have been different. So yes, remember that. 2 dot balls. Essentially, if Sanju had not scored that run, the result indeed might have been very different to what we are seeing. He acknowledged that for 90% of the match, India were in control, but those 2 wickets before the game got abandoned, it kind of tilted the result, it heavily skewed the result. So, Ravi Bishnoi on Sanju Samson has said it was a lucky run. Had Sanju not scored that run, the result would have been different. There is a lot of cheer for Sanju. He had observed that even last year when India had toured Ireland, there was immense support for Sanju Samson and Dinesh Karthik. So here, Sanju gets the cheers wherever he goes. But when it comes to selection on a consistent basis in the Indian cricket team, you may have to feel that Sanju Samson might get a bit hard done by it. Because remember, the KL Rahul, if he comes back for the Asia Cup, then Ishan Kishan is your backup because he's been with the team the longest. Sanju, unfortunately, then his World Cup dreams are all but over then. And once again, had rain not played a big role, Sanju Samson would have gotten a longer rope. And had he scored a 50, maybe the doubts would have increased even further. Should we include him? Should we not include him? Now, Ireland is a bit of a touch and go situation because the team might not score that many runs. Maybe in the second T20I, the Indian top order will fire and Sanju might, because of the position he bats in, might not get a chance to bat. So, in retrospect, you look at it, Jasprit Bumrah's return was the biggest ace that was there in the first T20I. Sanju Samson was hailed as a match winner because he got that one run. Had that one run not happened, India, instead of winning by 2 runs on the DLS method, they very well might have lost by 1 run. Who knows? The balance was that fine. That is why the 2 shots that Yashasvi Jaiswal and Tilak Verma played, Tilak Verma, you can say it was a case of bad luck. Yashasvi Jaiswal not needed in the situation, but that is the problem with inexperience. All these things will be taken into account. So, India are 1-0 up thanks to Bumrah's exploits and match winner Sanju Samson. Apart from that, India will be hoping that rain does not play a part in the second T20 and they have sealed the series 2-0. Good news, on Sunday, no rain threat. Wednesday, there is a rain threat for the third T20I. So, thank you so much folks for joining us for this live. We'll be back with more updates on sports today. Tap that bell icon so you know when we go live, and don't forget we're on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram as well. Thank you.